whenever we read about mobile and e-commerce in the press, we have to have a very clear distinction between what that actually means, because a lot of people focus on what is the revenue that's being driven through mobile. And when we read about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and we look at e-commerce and 25% of that is now mobile commerce, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are actually purchasing on a mobile platform, meaning on the mobile device on the phone. When they're in transit, that just essentially means that they're using a mobile platform such as a tablet, which in many cases just replaces a desktop computer at home, so that the actual transactional context within which I purchase, whether that is, it could be anything from a car down to dishwasher liquid, for example, at home on soap.com, essentially means the context on a tablet and a desktop in many cases is the same. So we're not actually seeing an increase in mobile commerce just from a transactional perspective or from a revenue perspective. We're just seeing them shift from desktop to tablet. The role of mobile as in a mobile phone or a mobile context, a context where I'm not sitting at home in a laid-back atmosphere having time to research, is very different. We see very little transactional value actually driven on the phone, but we see a lot of the role of the mobile device in the commerce journey, which is why it's so important to continuous commerce, is much more tying together the various knots or the various steps that I'm going through in a purchase journey, and being able to always be my personal source of information, whether I'm researching a product, whether I'm in store, whether I'm looking for an impulse, whether I'm looking for some cost savings, for example, but it's not necessarily the transaction itself. Showrooming came up about 3 years ago when everyone was kind of like in arms against it, and the stores like Best Buy and the likes saw people coming into stores comparing prices. Amazon has been very, very aggressive in the sense that they allow you to scan any kind of barcode and find a better price on Amazon than you would find in the physical retail store. I think what we've seen by now, and this is a couple of years in, is that showrooming really hasn't had a massive negative effect on the physical retailers, and in part it is because retailers were able to answer questions like, why is this a danger, and why should it still be going into a physical retail store, and how can I equip my sales force, for example, that is in a physical retail in order to deal with showrooming. So a typical example, and I just experienced this myself over the Black Friday, was a Target, for example, matches all prices. So if I can bring in a different price in the physical Target, they'll match that price. They actually didn't do it over Thanksgiving, obviously, because there's a lot of promotional pricing in market, but generally they would say, we'll match the price. If you show something on your phone where you find it cheaper, we'll just match it, which is one opportunity to deal with showrooming. The other one is obviously to offer some kind of an expertise at the point of sale through whoever physical person is at the point of sale, and help people make a decision there rather than relying on expert opinions online where you may not have the context of why somebody would recommend a certain product over another product. I think in the long term, my prediction has been a little bit that what we'll be seeing is retailers, specifically say if you look at metro areas like New York City where you pay a prime real estate price, you're paying a lot of money also for having storage right in Soho, for example. Why not convert stores from the store, including all the storage space, to just essentially become a showroom, and then have a completely outsourced logistics area somewhere outside of the town where you don't have to have it, and then you just guarantee whatever shoe you like, and you've taken a picture, the retailer will guarantee you it will be shipped at home tonight. It'll be there once you get home, rather than paying storage price, you just ship it from some Jersey location, for example. I think what we'll be seeing is the information gathering, the price comparison shopping will still want that local retail experience, because it's not just about the transaction, it's about the experience that I have when I'm going shopping, but then we'll use digital delivery, logistics, all that kind of supply chain management on a digital basis in order to cut costs and become more competitive, even as a brick and mortar retailer. I don't think that will be going away, because we all know the shopping experience on Amazon, to just give you the most clear example, is pretty damn. I mean, Amazon's fantastic in finding out what I may be interested in based on the products that I'm currently searching, and they certainly have a pretty wide catalog of products they can offer us. But the experience itself is not an experience that I share with my friends, for example. How many people go shopping with their friends and they make it a huge, we'll go to the city, we'll drink a glass of champagne while we're looking at clothes that are being presented to us, rather than just, hey, let's all gather in front of an Amazon platform and drink a glass of champagne. It's just simply not the same. So it's not just about finding the best price, but it's also about the shopping experience in itself. It's about having a physical interface, as in sales assistants that can help me answer questions that I may not be getting answered on a digital platform, because it's essentially faceless in many, many places. What are the key technologies that we're expecting at CES and Mobile World Congress that how they impact retail, how they impact brands, how they impact shoppers or consumers? I'd say there are two key ones right now. I'm probably leaving out 5 others that are somewhat key as well. The one, which is already obvious, which is payments. The way of how we're paying, whether it's, I carry around a big wallet. I hope that in a year's time I won't be carrying a wallet at all anymore, because I'll have my phone, or potentially even something like a smartwatch, which will become my method of payment. And thus it will also become my platform for all my rewards programs. It will become a platform for all my savings. It will become a platform for all the data that I'm carrying around about myself, which will help retailers in exchange again deliver better services to me. So I think payments will be one major one. And then the technology everyone is talking about right now, which we know will be showcased throughout all of those shows, will be beacon technology. Apple has done the industry a great job in the way that they've introduced iBeacons almost as a marketing tool. Put an eye in front of it and it's great. So beacon technology essentially allows us to be contextually aware where anyone is based on their cell phone location. So me walking into a store can trigger signals, whether it's a geofence signal or whether it's based on Bluetooth technology, and it allow a brand or a retailer or an advertiser for that matter, like a media company that serves ad throughout out-of-home media, to allow them to understand where I am a shopper and a consumer am, and thus then deliver services, deliver utility, deliver specialized offers to me based on the location, the time of where I am. It'll also allow us to track dwell times in stores, for example. Qualcomm is very big on actually understanding personal profiles, where you move through stores, how long have you spent in certain parts of a department store, for example, and thus deriving from that the interest that I may be having, the potential products I may be interested in, even though I may not have made a purchase at that specific time. And I think beacon technology, which allows us to be contextually relevant to an individual shopper, us as in the advertiser / retailer / brand marketer, I think that's going to be a massive topic.